All right, we are into lesson 11, temperature conversions on page 95. So when we are converting to temperatures, there are really two things we're going to worry about. And it depends on what you're given. So if you are given a degree in Celsius, we use the one on the left because the Celsius is in the beef of the problem. If you are given Fahrenheit, you'll use the one on the right because Fahrenheit is in the beef of the problem. Now, these are really the same function, just manipulated, and I want to show you that. So I'm going to start with F equals 9/5 C plus 32, right? That was the first formula. So if you want to get C by itself, think about solving an equation. We would first subtract 32 from both sides. So I now have F minus 32 equals 9/5 times C. And if you want to undo multiplication, as we have here on the right, you would divide. So if we take 9/5 divided by 9/5, remember, dividing fractions means multiplying by the reciprocal. So really, we want to multiply both sides by 5/9. So C equals 5/9 times F minus 32. So those two formulas are essentially the same thing. We just give them to you separately so that they're easier to deal with. All right, let's do a couple of these problems. On page 95, we're going to look at number 1, and let's do A together. Convert 32 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius. So we are given Fahrenheit. So we want to start with the formula C equals 5/9 times F minus 32. And so you'll notice you have 32 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's going to get plugged in for the F. So I've got 5/9 in parentheses. I'll have 32 minus 32. Remember, order of operations. So we've got to do what's inside parentheses first. So 32 minus 32 is 0. What's 5/9 times 0? Hopefully you said 0. And so we would know that the Celsius degree is C equals 0. I'm going to go ahead and jump to letter C, where it says convert 0 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. So now we have Celsius, and we would use the formula F equals 9/5 C plus 32. Okay, well, C is 0. So 9/5 times 0 plus 32. Order of operation, we would do this chunk first. Now, if this was not a 0 right here, you could remember this is 9 divided by 5, so you could punch it right into your calculator just like that. 9 divided by 5, and then times whatever number would come here. In this case, it's just a 0, and we end up with a Fahrenheit, right, of 32 degrees. So I would like you to go back and go ahead and punch in B and D. Try to do those, see what happens, and then check your answers. Okay, so you'll notice in part B, when you start with 212 degrees Fahrenheit, you would get 100 degrees Celsius. And if you start with 100 degrees Celsius, you get 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, what's the importance? Letter E, the importance of these. Do you remember that 0 degrees Celsius, which is the same that we just saw as 0 degrees Fahrenheit, right? That is the freezing temperature. And 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 100 degrees Celsius, is the boiling, oh, I spelled boiling wrong, that's rough. The boiling point of water, so those are the important ones. Okay, using these two formulas. Now, on page 95 and 96, I want you to do numbers 2 through 6, hit pause, do those problems, then come back and check your work. Okay, so in 2, you're given Celsius, so you're going to start with the F equals function, and you end up with a temperature of 100.4 degrees. Should you be concerned? I guess that depends on who you are. If I have a temperature of 100.4, I'm not too worried about it, but if you have a 2-month-old baby or something, you might be concerned. So, that's up to interpretation. Number 3, we've got 72 degrees Fahrenheit. What would that be in degrees Celsius? So we're starting with Fahrenheit. We'll use the C equals formula, plug in 72 for F, and you should end up in I rounded to 2 decimal places. You should get 22.22. In number 4, 16 degrees Celsius. Do you need a jacket? Well, you plug in 16 for C and solve for F, and you get 60.8 degrees. I would say this is another one up for interpretation. In my opinion, no, you don't need a jacket. Hell, I'd wear shorts at 60.8 degrees. Number 5, 39 degrees for your refrigerator. What is that in Celsius? I rounded and got 3.89. And number 6, you're cooking a roast at 350 degrees. What is that in Celsius? So again, we need the C equals function, and I came up with a rounded answer of 176.67 degrees. So that is temperature conversion. Let me know if you have questions or you need to see an additional example. Thanks.